podcast 4 times. Hello and welcome to another exciting, action-packed episode of the Castle Title Television Network. I am your host, David Kramer, here with you today to discuss a very special topic. What makes it special? I'll tell you. Yesterday, I sent out a tweet to all my viewers, sent out messages asking you to tell me what's on your mind. What do you want to talk about? What do you want to hear me talk about? Because really, Castle Title TV is all about you, the viewer. And it's all about being interactive and involved. So, this morning, a call, or shall I say email, came in from Elnora Little. She said to me, please discuss, I want to make sure I use the right wording, so I'm going to consult my notes here, which I rarely have in front of me when we do these. The American Recovery and Reinvestment Act of 2009. What is that, you asked? Oh, it's an important act, especially if you're a first-time home buyer. Why? Because our government believes that you should take advantage of all-time low housing prices and at or near all-time low mortgage interest rates. Frankly, folks, you're not going to find a better time to go out and find your first home than right now. And the government is trying to give you an incentive to go out and do that, to take equitable ownership in the place that you live. It's good for you because you have something that's yours, something that you can build equity in, something that you can improve. It helps improve neighborhoods, it helps improve communities. It's really a good act for everybody. The question is, how does it work? How do you take advantage of it? The tax credit provides a tax credit to individuals or married folks up to 10% of the purchase price of their property, with a cap of $4,000 if you're single or $8,000 if you're married. It's not quite so cut and dry as that, but for simplicity purposes, we're going to go with those numbers. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about some of the rules and regulations and restrictions, if you will, but what I'm also going to do is post a link for today's episode so that you can consult certain websites from the IRS and other important information that will provide you all the nuts and details. I would frankly encourage you also to talk to your tax advisor and possibly your loan officer. They might have some more intricate information as to whether or not you are in fact eligible. First of all, the question is, how does the government define first-time homebuyer? A first-time homebuyer is an individual or married couple who neither partner has purchased or owned property in the 3-year period preceding the purchase date of their new property. So if you've owned a property in the last 3 years, or your spouse has, you're not eligible for the act. Sorry, doesn't apply. But if you have not owned a home in the last 3 years, then in fact, theoretically, you are eligible. Now there's certain restrictions on earnings. If you're earning more than $75,000 a year as an individual, or $150,000 a year as a married couple, then the amount that you're eligible to get as a taxpayer credit is diminished. But you still might be entitled to something. Again, consult with your tax preparer. This is a fabulous opportunity for you to take advantage of a government incentive to go out and do something terrific, which is own your first home. If you think about the American dream, or at least when I think about the American dream, the cornerstone is home ownership. Owning a piece of America, owning a piece of the pie. And I think that, as I mentioned, with low interest rates and depreciated property values, with so much selection and inventory out there, you're never going to find a better time in this generation, in my opinion, to go out and become a homeowner. So the question now becomes, what are some of the restrictions? We already talked about the 3-year period that you cannot own a home preceding your purchase date. We've already talked about the income requirements. The government has also stated that the tax credit that you receive must go to you. You can't assign it to someone else, and you can't assign it to another company. So the money has to go back to you. It can't be rolled back into your loan. And as evidence of the fact that we're running a live television show, I shall turn off the cell phone, and I apologize for the interruption. But again, it's live and anything can happen. It's unscripted. You never know where the show is going to go. So, with that said, you cannot assign your tax credit. There are a number of questions about the Act. For example, what happens if your earned income is not large enough to actually receive the credit? What if the tax credit is larger than the amount of your earned income? How does that work? that really hasn't been clarified yet, and I assume hopefully by the time that we file our taxes for 2009 and April of 2010, that issue has been addressed by the IRS and or Congress. But I think that for the most part, there really aren't that many restrictions, and there are a wealth of opportunities out there for you, the first-time home buyer. With that said, I want to give a special shout out to a group of viewers that I absolutely think the world of, the Twitter Queens. Who are they? Well, they're a group of women and a couple men that are all over the country that have been fantastic to correspond with. They are all social media whizzes. They're all engaged in entrepreneurial activities. Many of them are real estate. The best way to find these women, and a few men, go to www.twitterqueens.net, or, obviously they're on Twitter. How do you find them? Go to search.twitter.com and type in #, which is the tic-tac-toe sign, and Twitter Queens. Hit enter. You're going to find out who all these women are. There's some fantastic, fantastic folks out there who are working in the real estate industry that can certainly be helpful to you. I would definitely encourage you to seek them out. And with that, I want to thank you for watching. I want to thank you for suggesting today's topic, and Laura, I really appreciate it in the correspondence. I would invite you, in fact, I would encourage you, please, forward these videos along to anybody and everybody who you know who think will be interested, because the title revolution is all about you. It's about our viewers. It's about keeping it real so you get your best real estate deal. And the more people that watch, the bigger this thing is going to be. And it is growing. Please pass it on. Please keep watching. And until next time, keep the emails and comments coming. We'll see you.